our special live class today. It feels funny to be talking about the holidays already because
Welcome to this class about how to lose weight over the holidays rather than gain it. And we are excited that you're here with us.
yes.
So we're just getting organized here, getting all our computers and everywhere we have to be kind of connected and hooked up.
We've got 3 different screens going, so if you see us looking around like crazy people,
We are
you'll
just
know
making
why.
sure.
Yeah, we're making sure it's all working, and I think it's good.
And
so
I'm just going to check one more place.
Yeah.
So welcome to this class. We're really glad that you're here with us. We are excited to share all about how to lose weight over the holidays.
Yeah, and before we even get started, we shared this yesterday, but we want you to know that that sounds kind of like an ironic statement, how to lose weight over the holidays, but it's absolutely possible. That's the thing that you need to know. It is 100% possible for you to lose weight this holiday season instead of gain it. And I think that really is like the first question that we wanted to ask everybody is like, did you gain weight last holiday season? Give us a thumbs up or a yes, or, I mean, if you didn't, you could put that too, but we might think you're lying because who hasn't gained weight over the holidays at some point, right? I think we could all say yes.
But more than that, as we wait for people to log in, we are going to ask you a few questions and we want you to engage because the more you respond and, type in the chat, the more fun it is.
Yeah.
It's fun to see everyone's comments.
But we're going to have a hard time seeing everybody's comments because we've got a couple different platforms going. We're on YouTube right now as well as on Facebook. So if you've commented and we miss it, it's just because we've got too many screens. And so we will see it later. And I mean,
So I've got one, I've got my phone going. As you can see, we are watching for comments here. We have another YouTube channel going where we're seeing comments, and there you go. So we really hope that you engage. So first of all, why don't you tell us what your favorite holiday is? What is your favorite holiday? And I'm going to say my favorite holiday is Christmas. I know some people's favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, and in the US, you guys have Thanksgiving coming up very, very quickly. We're from Canada, and we had our Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago, and it was an amazing holiday. Mm-hmm. But yours is right back to back. Like yours goes from Thanksgiving to Christmas, it seems.
Yeah, and ours has quite a bit of space in between. So I don't know if that means that our holiday season is longer, so it's harder. I don't know. Or if yours is just all packed into one, so it's easier to just eat. I don't know. But either way, gaining weight over the holidays is one of those things that almost every woman struggles with. And so that's really why we wanted to come on before the holidays get started this year. Yeah. And let's make a plan for how to not gain weight this season and how to actually lose instead, because that's what we want. Right? We want to shed the pounds, feel good about ourselves, regain the confidence that so many women have lost, because let's face it, when we don't feel good, we don't really have the same level of confidence. Our self-esteem suffers because
really
of how we feel and how we look. And, we believe that our confidence should be coming from Christ. Our confidence is because of who Christ has made us to be. But so many other things affect it, right? How we feel. Yes. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but I just did a reel yesterday that was all about the things that steal our self-confidence, like a bad hair day.
That's right. That's a really big one for women.
Yes. Or feeling like you're in an outfit that you're picking and pulling at all day because you're uncomfortable and it sticks in all the wrong places. Those things steal our confidence so fast. Or just disliking yourself in general, not liking the way you look, not liking the way you feel, all those things. But as believers here, we believe that we were created on purpose, for a purpose. And so we've got to remember that when God has called us to something, it's really less about us and it's more about Him. So our confidence needs to be coming from Him, but we have all these other factors that are always at play. And so the better we feel, the more confident we typically are.
And we need the confidence to actually carry out our purpose. We all know that you and I have been called for a purpose. God has a reason that you're here. God has a purpose for you to fulfill in your life, wherever you're situated, wherever you live, and whatever circumstance you're going through. And so when we feel better about ourselves, we're able to serve better. And that's what we're actually living for, because when we're serving, we feel fulfilled and satisfied. We have that purpose. So,
and I just want to add to that. That's actually why Ruth and I are so passionate about the whole topic of healthy Christian living, because when we don't have our health in our mind, body, or soul,
and all three work together.
Yeah, when we don't have that, it is infinitely more challenging to live out the purpose that God is calling you for. Because, as I was making that reel yesterday, I was having a bad hair day, right? And I thought to myself, this bad hair day today is making me feel like I don't want to show up and make this reel today.
So who here has had a bad hair day? Put a thumbs up if you've had a bad hair day and it kind of ruined your day.
Yeah, because we can let all of those things get us down, keep us stuck, keep us from acting, because we're so wrapped up in ourselves. We're feeling self-conscious. We're feeling all these things. But when you are living with a purpose, when you have a purpose that God is calling you to, then it doesn't matter if you're having a bad hair day. God still wants you to be living out the purpose he has for you, whether it's a bad hair day or not. And can you go fix your hair in the mirror so you feel a little better about yourself? Absolutely. But that's not a reason to just give up and fall down and live defeated. And so we have to start taking good care of our mind, body, and soul so that we can go live out the purpose that God has for us. And so that ultimately is why we are so passionate about this topic. And really, that whole story about the reel was not a planned thing to talk about here today, but it really made me in my head go, okay,
wow,
God has a purpose for me. All of these things that I'm self-conscious about really are irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if I have a bad hair day. I still have to show up for my purpose.
Exactly. And so the more that we have our health, the more that we understand and know our purpose, the more that we can show up and serve God and grow closer to him.
And thanks for those thumbs up and for those me's. It's awesome. Thanks for showing up here, ladies. We love that you're here. And we're going to get started now, but we have one more question for you. So what is the one treat or the one food item on your favorite holiday that you just can't say no to?
I think we probably all have the one thing. And
So
I'll tell you
yours?
mine.
Yeah.
Mine is, they're the ugliest dessert you could ever imagine. But they're called bird's nests, I think.
Yeah.
So they're like marshmallow cream with peanut butter and
Noodles.
Chinese, what do you call them? Chow mein noodles.
Yeah.
And so you mix it all together, and then there's chocolate chips in it. Oh man, they're sweet and salty. They are so ugly to look at that I never put them out for company because they're just not attractive.
And we're getting comments like stuffing, shortbread cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your one thing that you can't say no
Fudge
to.
and cut out cookies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what's yours?
I'm gonna say popcorn. I'm a popcorn fanatic, but at Christmas time, I used to always make the caramel corn with peanuts and pecans and all that stuff. And so it's hard to say no when that's in front of me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing. And I'm going to say, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, the thing that we can't say no to is the first thing that we have in our house at the holiday season. And it's the thing that we remake when it's all gone at the holiday season. And it's the thing that we don't go without at the holiday season, even though we know that if we are trying to at all maintain or lose or not gain over the holidays, that's probably the worst thing we could have in our zone of proximity, because it's the thing that we can't say no to.
That's right. Here's some other ones: sweet potato casserole, cookies, shortbread, double stuffed
potatoes. Oh, that sounds good.
Double stuffed potatoes is a good one.
Butter pecan tarts.
Yeah, butter pecan tarts.
Yum.
But here's the thing. I was going to say, there's another holiday coming up. Now, whether it's Halloween coming up, whether you have candy in your house or chocolate bars in your house, because most people buy what they love, so that if they don't all get given out, well, then we get to eat them.
Or so that you can open the box and have a few before Halloween even comes around.
Or sometimes, you open the box before Halloween and the box is all gone and you have to go buy more.
Yeah. And whether you celebrate Halloween or not, there's candy everywhere at this time of year, right? You go to the store and they've got a dish out. You got a package the other day that had Halloween candy stuffed in it.
Yeah,
right?
we got 2 packages. This is just off the topic, but we ordered something for our coffee machine, and in the box with the parts, because my husband was fixing it, was like 4 Halloween treats in each box. It was a really special little, oh, isn't that cute? And then it went, oh, it's all sugar.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that candy is all around, and that holiday is coming up very shortly.
Very shortly. And so there is stuff everywhere. And so we know that if you're here watching because you are wanting to actually not gain weight over the holidays, right? Which is the typical thing to do.
It's right.
And so we want to figure out, here's the thing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we've got to do something different. And so we have actually created a roadmap for exactly this topic, how to lose the weight this holiday season instead of gain it. And there's 4 steps, okay? And the reason that we created this roadmap is really because frameworks are what work, right? When you are trying to make a change in your life, in any area, having a framework and knowing the steps that you're trying to take is really crucial. Otherwise, we get lost in no man's land.
So let's just break that down a little bit. Say you want to get closer to God, and your goal is you're going to make this habit of doing your daily devotions. You have to have a framework. If you haven't done daily devotions before, well, how do you start? Most people buy a devotional book. Most people plan what time of day that they're going to start reading. Most people have a journal so that they can write down and actually get their mind engaged. And that's a framework. And we have to do the same when we want to lose weight.
Exactly. And so we created this roadmap, how to lose weight this holiday season, and it's got 4 steps to it. And we've really been diving deep into the process that women go through to lose weight. And so our roadmap is 4 steps. Change your weight, change your thoughts, change your habits, change your life. Because ultimately, losing weight is less about the number on the scale and more about how our life changes because of those decisions, right? There's this transformation that happens when we begin to lose weight that has absolutely nothing to do with the number on the scale. It has everything to do with reclaiming our confidence. It has everything to do with feeling better, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and
psychologically,
in every way.
Relationally, every way.
And so there's this concept that, women want to lose weight because we want to look better, right? And feel better. And we care so much about what the number on the scale says. But really, the number on the scale is what you think you want. You want to see a different number on the scale. But really, that is kind of irrelevant. Nobody even knows what the number on the scale says except you and your doctor most of the time. So who really cares about that? What we actually want is we want to change our life. We want to feel better. We want to be happy.
Yeah, we want to be healthy. We want to get into a smaller size. And sometimes you can lose inches and the scale doesn't budge, but you go down a size. You want to feel good. You want to feel lighter. You don't want to have that bloated feeling and the sluggish feeling and the blah feeling and the embarrassed feeling. But so those things are important, but the number on the scale is not truly what you want. You want to feel good in your own skin.
And when that happens, then your whole life changes because all these other things we've been talking about, the confidence, having a purpose, having a healthy mind, right? If your mind is not healthy, then everything else suffers. If your body's not healthy, everything else suffers. If your spirit or your soul is not healthy, everything else suffers. And we all know that. And so really the reason that we came up with this framework in the order that we did, first change your weight, right? It's because when we begin to feel and experience results, it spurs us on to keep going. And so with our 10-day weigh down plan that we're going to talk a little bit more about later, the thing that's so brilliant about it is that in 10 days, women feel so much incredibly better, and they get these insane results.
Yeah, they have these wins that they never thought they'd experience within just 10 days.
Yeah, and then that's what makes your thinking start to change, because you're like, what? I can actually do this. You start to believe in yourself. You start to recognize that it's possible. All these changes start happening in your thought life, and then habits begin to build, right? Which is the third step. And as all of those things are happening through this roadmap, your life changes one step at a time, with one decision at a time. And so we've broken down these 4 steps into kind of like 3 topics. Why it matters. I'm going to forget it.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Why it matters, and how you might be feeling during each of the steps in this roadmap.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to go through each one of these with you right now. And we want you to engage in questions, because it's nice to see everyone's comments, because then you get to see that you're not alone. Your feelings are like other people's feelings.
Yeah.
Because so often we just feel like, oh, I'm the only one who feels like this. I'm the only one who can't lose weight. I'm the only one who gets stuck. I'm the only one who feels embarrassed. I'm the only one who can have trouble getting up and down off the floor. And we're here to tell you, you're not the only one. You're not alone.
At all. In fact, everybody in this group, all of the subscribers on the channels, they all have experienced at least some of the same thoughts and feelings as you. In fact, like we ask who's had a bad hair day, I think everybody in the whole entire world could say me. Right? And how that affects our level of confidence. And so anyways, let's get started with change your...
They're asking if they can have a copy of the roadmap. We'll see if we can make it so that it's easy to send out. How's that? Yeah. We'll let you know. But let's go on. Let's start with change your weight. That is number 1 on the roadmap. And as you can see it, it's right here. Change your weight. Now, what does this mean to you?
Why don't you let us know in the comments what it means to you to change your weight? And, maybe that's a simple question to ask and answer. But changing your weight is about a lot of different things. It's about, well, I won't say what it's about to us yet, because I'll wait to see your comments. But what does it mean to you to change your weight? Does that mean a different number on the scale? Does that mean changing how you eat? Does that mean a new diet? Does that mean
new clothes? Does that mean your husband's going to love you more? Does it mean that you're going to love yourself more? Because so often we get our wires in our brains so messed up. We think that we're only lovable when we've lost the weight. We think that we only have worth when we've lost the weight. We're here to tell you that, well, let's first see what your answers are.
That's not true, is what, and that's not the truth.
No, because we know that our worth is in Christ. But before we start, while you're writing out your answer, we have a Bible verse, because we were going to, with each one of these points on our roadmap or on our blueprint for living, we have a verse from the Bible. So I'm going to say that for change your weight, our verse is 1 Corinthians 6:19. And just for a second, I'm going to look that up. 1 Corinthians 6:19, and you probably know what this verse even is.
Yeah, and while you're looking for it, I'll just read some of the answers. Drop a lot of pounds, I'll feel better, and I'll feel and look better to myself and others. Let's see. Feeling better, see some progress on my journey, having my clothes fit better. It means to me I feel better when I eat better. Feel better. I want to feel more comfortable in my clothes and be a smaller size. I also want to feel healthier. Yes. Want to lose weight for my health, lose weight, feel better about myself. So
see, you can see that you're not alone. We all feel the same way. Why? Because we're all made in the image of God. We are all alike in so many areas of our life. And so for change your weight, on point number 1, our verse is 1 Corinthians. You might want to write this down. 1 Corinthians 6:19, and here's what it says. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. Now, there's so much wrapped up in this verse, and we're not going to just start preaching about this verse, but we know that our body is a temple. And Casey and I, you'll hear us say often, treat your body like a temple, not a trash can. And so what we love about this verse is that we're supposed to honor our bodies. Mm-hmm. When you think about honoring your body, what does that mean to you? Mm-hmm. Well, to Casey and I, it means respecting yourself, doing some self-love, some self-care, and
which has a lot to do with the things that you say to yourself.
That's right. There's so much wrapped up in this, and we're going to talk about that with our thought life.
Yeah.
But there's so much about taking care of yourselves, and we're not talking about being egotistical or being vain, about wanting to look better than the other person. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about honoring the body God gave us so that we can have the health that we need to do what he wants for us to carry out here on this earth.
Exactly. And so what does change your weight mean to us? Well, the biggest piece that it means to us is that our bodies are like vehicles, and we have to learn how to view food as fuel for our bodies. Food, we want to enjoy food, and that's good. We want to do that. It's not bad to enjoy food, but what is problematic is when we are turning to food for all of the things that we should be turning to God for. All the things like when food becomes our comfort, when food becomes our security, when food becomes a friend, when food becomes, our source of happiness and joy. Those are things that we are supposed to be looking to God for, not food. And so while we absolutely want to enjoy food, we need to start viewing it as fuel for our bodies, because ultimately that's how God designed our bodies, that we need food as fuel or energy so that our bodies can function.
So that we can do what God is asking us to do. We have so much. Like if you're a mom and you have kids, you need a lot of energy to look after those kids. Kids take up a lot of time, and they're gifts from God, they're blessings from God, but you need energy to be able to do that. I mean, Casey can attest to that. But if she isn't fueling her body, she doesn't have the energy to look after her children. If you're a grandparent like me, or if you're a single person and you have a lot of stuff going on in your life, you need the energy to do what God is calling you to do.
Yeah, no matter who you are and no matter what you have going on in your life,
we need
energy. Yeah. And so changing your weight, it's about learning to view food as fuel. And so we don't want to take too much time on each point, because we're trying really hard to keep this at an hour today, which I think that might be a struggle.
I think we better just go through these points now, because otherwise we're going to be way late.
Yeah.
Okay. So change your weight.
Why does this matter? Yeah.
Why does it matter? Well, we've already said we want to enjoy food because God tells us that he gives us the desires of our heart, and he wants us to enjoy all things, to take pleasure in all things. But in order to lose the weight and maintain a healthy weight, well, we have to view food as fuel and watch how much we're taking in. Mm-hmm. Most women are viewing food as comfort, their peace. Like we all go to food when we have these feelings that bubble up inside of us, whether they're angry feelings, mad feelings, we're grieving, we're sad, we're depressed, we're stressed. We have all these feelings, and so often we just rush to food for our comfort.
Yeah, and Barbara says, I turn to food for all the things you're talking about. And Barbara, you're not alone in that, okay?
Yeah. That's all of us.
And we often talk about how we have all these mixed up wires in our head, and food is an easy go-to. Food never lets us down. And so, but the thing is, food does let us down because it steals our health when we're not using it for what it's actually there for. But that's such a slow process that we don't recognize that food is actually taking something from us when we're turning to it for all the wrong things.
And because when it steals our health, it steals our joy. It steals our purpose. It steals everything from us.
Yeah, because we've stopped looking to God for what we're supposed to. And I just, as we switch to how you might be feeling at this stage, I just need to read Judy's comment here. She says, lately God has brought it to my attention that it is not any of my business what others think of how I look or what I weigh.
That is so good, Judy.
Yeah.
It is nobody else's business. People think they need to make it their business, but it really isn't. And all we have to be accountable to is God.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're accountable to God, everyone else is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's why we say treat your body like a temple, not a trash can, because we, what's the word I was going to say? Not honor, but we, our decisions matter to God. We're making our decisions in light of what honors and glorifies God. That's what I'm trying to say. And so when we can switch our thought process, and we're going to move on to thoughts in a minute, to like, I want to honor this body that God gave me. It changes the way that you will show up and make decisions about what you choose as fuel for your body. And so how might you be feeling at this stage in the game, right? Change your weight. As you think about losing weight, you might be feeling some of these things.
You might be thinking, I've tried so many times and I've failed so many times. I just give up. I don't want to try again.
It's too hard. Yeah, I can't do it.
Why bother trying?
Yeah, I failed at every diet out there, so what's the use? I'm just always going to be overweight. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to do it. We have all of these defeatist thoughts, right?
Some of you might be scared. You might be nervous about, well, can I do it? You know, you want to do it. You kind of have this excitement that, maybe I can have some hope again. Maybe I can do it. There's, your mind is playing tricks on you. It's like, can I, can't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Right?
Exactly. And really, that fear of failure is rooted in the fact that we've failed at diets over and over and over. And that's why we talk so much about how, like, we can't go on just another diet, because that's not going to work. We know that diets don't work. The statistics and the studies even show us that diets don't work. They show us that for every diet you try, you actually gain weight. And so we've got to do something different. And what we have to start doing is getting back to the basics of eating real whole food instead of all this processed junk and the processed crap that we're consuming. And I hope that I can sum this up really quickly. I was listening to this podcast a few days ago where he was talking about how, we think that as humans, we're just geared to eat as much as is possibly available, but that's actually not true. So if you think about eating a bag of chips, you could probably sit down, or I know I definitely could sit down and eat a full bag of chips.
Yeah, me too.
No problem. I wouldn't even feel full. And there's probably 4, 5, 6 full potatoes in that bag of chips, right? Because they've been processed, they've been altered, they've had chemicals added, they've had all this stuff added to make me want to eat more and more and more. But can you imagine if I boiled 4 or 5 or 6 full potatoes
and just sat down and ate them?
And didn't put any salt on it, didn't put any butter on it, didn't add anything to those potatoes? You probably could not eat 4 of them.
No, you couldn't.
Right? And so...
Or you wouldn't want to.
Well, exactly. And it wouldn't feel good too. And so we have to start looking at getting back to real foods, because our bodies are not designed to take in that much food. And it's because of all the alterations that have happened to the food that makes us able to eat 4 or 5 or 6 full potatoes in one sitting. And we call that a snack.
And then we go and eat more.
And then we have dinner, right? And so changing our weight is not about going on another diet. It's about getting back to eating real food and using food as fuel for our bodies, because it's the same thing. If you think about a bag of chips as fuel for your body and you are stuffing that whole bag of chips down your throat, that's 4, 5, or 6 full potatoes in one snack. That's not fuel. That's like overfilling your tank with the wrong type of gasoline, right? And I love chips. And I'm not saying never eat them. But what I am saying is we have to start viewing food from a healthy perspective of, this is meant to give my body energy and make my organs and cells function how God intended.
Yeah, so just remember that car analogy, because your body is like a vehicle and you wouldn't put diesel into your gasoline engine.
No.
So that's like you wouldn't put all the junk into your car because it would break down. Mm-hmm. So it's the same for our bodies. When we continually put junk or, the less good fuel into our vehicle, it's going to leave you stranded, or it's going to cause problems, and it's just going to cost you more.
Yeah.
And that's how our bodies is. It's going to cost us something when we continually feed our bodies the junk. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost us our health, which costs us everything.
Exactly.
So that's a great analogy. And you probably understand what Casey said when she said, for every diet you try, you gain weight. So you've probably experienced that yourself, because we know we have.
Yes, we definitely have.
Yeah. So those statistics aren't ours. Those are statistics that, experts have said.
Yeah. But our experiences fit within that too. And I'm sure yours do as well.
So let's go on to point number 2, which is on the roadmap. It is
change your thoughts.
Yeah. I was going to show the roadmap.
Yeah. Here. Oh, well, it's kind of here.
Right here.
Yeah.
There you go. Change your thoughts.
Yeah. So change your thoughts. So what does this mean? Why does it matter? And how you might be feeling as you work at changing your thoughts. Okay. So
first of all,
what does it mean? Yeah. First of all, we have a verse. That's right. And we have
Philippians 4:8.
Yeah. Which is all about, think about things that are true and honorable and noble and right. Right? Like, we're supposed to think about things that are good, things that are true, things that are noble and righteous. Not all of the crappy self-talk we have going on up here. And right. I want to say that's so much of what we are listening to day in, day out. And, that's just, it's horrible, right? It's horrible when we catch ourselves saying we don't even know we're saying it, but we're saying all these things that we just finished talking about how you might be feeling. You might be feeling like, I can never do it. Like, I'm always going to be this way. I'm just ugly. I'm not worthy. I'm not worth it. Nobody could ever love me. I'm having such a bad hair day. I look so ugly. On and on and on and on.
Our thoughts just consume us and we can't move forward. They actually cause us to get paralyzed. We get stuck. We just cannot move forward. And so if you are having thoughts where you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like a failure, well, that's where we have to take our thoughts captive. And Casey and I talk about taking our thoughts captive a lot. And taking them captive means to imprison them, not let them out of that box. We can chain those negative thoughts because they are holding us back. They're keeping us stuck. And we don't want to be paralyzed. We want to move on so that we can do what God is calling us to do. So our thoughts matter. The way we think matters. So it's change your weight, change your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Now, the Bible says, how do we change our thoughts? Well, we take them captive. That's the first thing. And then we change them. Changing them means like doing a 180. If I'm looking out my window and I see greenery. If I turn around and look this way, I'm seeing a picture on the wall. That's a totally different perspective. And that's what we need to do with our thoughts. We need a new perspective. And that's why Philippians 4 verse 8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. That's how we change our thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah. Change what we're thinking about. And if you think about taking your thoughts captive, think about trying to capture an animal, right? You got to keep it contained, right? You trap it in there and then you shut the door so it can't get back out. And so we've got to start taking our thoughts captive like that. So figure out what that thought is, trap it, shut the door, and then think about something else. Change the perspective. And so what does it mean to change your thoughts? Well, it becomes a choice when we talk about living healthy. It becomes a choice that we get to make to treat our bodies well. Mm-hmm. We don't have to do anything, okay? You don't have to do anything. You have choice whether you think you do or not. You don't have to be on another diet. You don't have to go to work today. You don't have to get out of bed.
You don't have to treat your body well. You don't have to brush your teeth. You don't have to comb your hair.
Nope. You choose to. You get to do all of those things. And choosing to change your thoughts to, I get to honor this body that God gave me.
It's a privilege and a blessing to honor the temple. Mm-hmm. If you think about the temple, well, you don't do it begrudgingly. You want to do it.
Mm-hmm. But the fact is we don't always want to do it, right? The fact is it's difficult to change our weight. It's difficult to change our thoughts. We don't always want to, but that's where we have to just think about this. Whether you felt like it or not this morning, I'm sure you brushed your teeth. That doesn't require you to have a whole pile of motivation. You don't get in victim mentality because like, oh, I have to go brush my teeth. Well, I mean, my 3-year-old does, but most of us as adults don't think like, oh, I really don't want to go brush my teeth.
No.
Right? We just do it. And so we don't even have to think about that. We don't wait for motivation to show up to start brushing our teeth. We just go get it done. We just decide that this is how it goes and this is what we're doing. And so the same thing is true with getting healthy, with making new habits, which is the next step that we're not quite at yet. But it's not about like waiting for the motivation to show up. It's about like just putting one step in front of the other and making it happen and deciding to do it.
Yeah, deciding to do it. Maybe pre-deciding that you're going to do it. Because it's like you said, you don't wake up and go, I'm not going to brush my teeth today.
Yeah, even the days you don't feel like it.
You still do it. And so change your weight. You just decide you're going to do it. Change your thoughts. You just decide you're going to do it. And you put one step in front of the other.
Yeah.
We get rid of that victim mentality because so often we can get in that pity pot mode where we're just feeling too sorry for ourselves. We've been there too long. We're in that hole and we don't want to dig ourselves out anymore. But do you want to keep living like that? I don't.
No, and I don't think really any of us do. That's why we're here, right? We are here because we want something different. And so the longer that you're just waiting for the motivation to show up, the longer that you're waiting for the right time to roll around, the longer that you're waiting for the holidays to be over, the longer you're just staying stuck in that victim mentality where you just, like, life is no fun when you're stuck waiting.
That's right.
Right? But the more that you can get into the I am more than a conqueror mindset and mode, the more that it's like, okay, let's get this done. And then boom, let's do it.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to do the countdown. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you hit 1, you're getting up. You're doing it. Whether it's brushing your teeth or going out for a walk or opening your Bible to read the scriptures or to change your thought pattern. You just got to do it.
Exactly. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because we always like to say, this is from Craig Groeschel from Life Church, your life is moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts.
We love that line. Let's say it again. Your life is moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. Now, what are your strongest thoughts?
Yeah, you should put that in the comment.
Yeah.
Think about where does your brain head to when you're laying in bed trying to go to sleep at night, when you're out for a walk, when you're driving all alone? What is your thought pattern? Where are your thoughts taking you?
Yeah, are you in the victim mentality or are you in the victor mentality? Because you're in one of them.
So tell us in the comments, what are your strongest thoughts? Are they, I can never do this? Are your strongest thoughts, it's never going to happen for me?
Are your strongest thoughts, oh, I can't wait till the next meal. Oh, I can't wait till I can just dive into that chocolate bar. What are your strongest thoughts? Are your strongest thoughts, I can't wait till I go out for a walk. I can't wait till I go out swimming. I can't wait till I get to do the next best thing in serving for our Savior, for the Lord. What are your strongest thoughts?
And your strongest thoughts might not be, oh, I can't wait to go out for a walk. Your strongest thoughts might not be, I can't wait to go eat an apple, right? But your strongest thoughts could be, I am going to honor God with my body.
Your strongest thought might be, oh, I can't wait to help my neighbor again. What are your strongest thoughts? Because wherever your strongest thoughts are, that's where your life is going. If your strongest thoughts are about service, then you're moving in the direction of more service. If your strongest thoughts are obsession about food, well, then you're going down the path of gaining weight if your obsession is with food.
Exactly. And so let's see. Some days they're positive and other days they are negative. And Gail, I think that's probably pretty
accurate.
Pretty accurate. And Yvonne says that I've screwed up over and over and over again.
Yeah, and Yvonne, you're not alone. And, sometimes we can think, I've screwed up so much, I just don't want to bother trying again. And that is going down into, we don't want to go there, because if we're thinking that over and over, like we've asked you to tell us what our strongest thoughts are, but we want to get out of that thinking. If we're thinking, I am just a screw up, I just have screwed up and I know I'm going to screw up again and I'm just screwing up continually. We want to change that perspective and say, well, God is with me today. Today's a new day. Today I'm going to think about those things that are admirable, like maybe getting out for exercise, that's an admirable thing. Maybe it's choosing the apple versus the chocolate bar. That's an admirable thing for our body. There's many things that we can just kind of change that perspective. And that's what we have to do, is take those thoughts captive like we talked about.
Exactly.
Because you're not a screw up.
No, exactly. You might have messed it up, but that doesn't mean that you stop trying.
No.
Right? We've all
Exactly.
messed it up.
Yeah.
We are not called to be perfect. God knows we're imperfect. God knows we are sinful. He's not asking for our perfection. He's asking for our surrender. He's asking for us to give this journey over to him and to get up and try again, because we're called to run the race, not to fall down and stop.
That's right. And thank you for all your comments, because we really appreciate your comments, because we know they're real, and everyone else is reading them as well. So they know they're not alone. And so you might be feeling right now that you're down in the dumps. That's one of the first things that we put on our how you might be feeling right now. Maybe you're feeling like you're down in the dumps and you can't do it. Maybe you feel like you're not in control of your thoughts anymore. You used to be, or you were better at it, but you've slipped away from that healthy habit. Maybe you're feeling like, it's easier for everyone else, but not for you. Maybe you're comparing yourself to others. Maybe you have nothing nice to say about yourself.
Yeah, there's so many ways that we feel that our thoughts are going on and on and on about in our heads. We've got a couple other comments here. I'm in victim mentality. Amazing on this program. Through quite a few bad things my way. Through this program, life threw quite a few bad things my way, and I went into petty mode. However, I am back. Woo! Joan.
Way to go, Joan. That is positive. That's wonderful. You've taken those thoughts captive and turned them around.
And Judy says, to be honest, I can't wait to go to bed. And you know what, Judy, we know that you have some very hard circumstances right now. And so, you know what? We get it. Life can be such a tough go sometimes. But then she turns around and says, I do feel I'm on the verge of complete change. Which,
wow,
that's because you're on the roadmap.
That's right. You are on the roadmap.
Yeah. And Margie says, at this time, my strongest thoughts are mostly negative about myself, but they are changing. Woo!
Love that.
I think that's such an important key, is that this is not an overnight change.
No.
This is an all day, every day, for the rest of your life battle, because it's a spiritual battle that we are in for what's going on up here.
And Jenny says, my thoughts are usually about serving my church. It brings me so much joy. That is fabulous, Jenny. But she has negative thoughts about the way she looks and feels, and then she comes down on herself. Yeah, that is very typical of us as women in the church today. And we often talk about how, we really need to take those thoughts captive. We really need to change that, do that 180, because when we're feeling that way about ourselves, we can't serve to our best ability, because that is coming through. It comes through on the way we carry ourselves, the way we walk. It comes through in our thoughts, in our words. It's so important to take those thoughts captive.
Exactly.
So I think we better move on, because we're already at 1:45.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Our next point.
We better fly through this one. Change your habits.
Yes.
So what does it mean? Why does it matter? And how you might be feeling as you're at this stage on the roadmap? Well, what does it mean? Well, it means that we have to examine our current habits, because like we've already said, we can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
That's the definition of insanity. And we're not insane.
No. And our life is made up of what we do consistently, right? All of the places that we end up in life are because of the things that we have done consistently to lead us up to that point. So if you're sitting here and you have some weight to lose, 99% of the time it's because of the things that you have done consistently for the past however long. It might have been a year, it might have been a decade, it might have been 5 decades. But the things that you have done consistently are what lead you to the point where you are currently living in right now. Our past habits create our current reality.
Amen.
And so you have to ask yourself this question: what are my strongest habits, and are they helping me or are they hindering me? Are they helping me have the life that I want to have?
Okay, and that goes exactly with our verse for this point. Change your habits. And here's our verse. You might want to write this down. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 12. Everything is lawful for me, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is lawful for me, but I will not let myself be dominated by anything. Now, what Casey was just talking about is like our habits, some of them might be just fine, but are they beneficial? Now, if we want to treat our bodies like a temple, we want those habits to be beneficial to our life. So we have to maybe get rid of some habits and get some new habits going.
Exactly. And so if you think about everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Like, let's bring that back to step 1, which is all about changing your weight. And like we talked about, learning to view food as fuel. Now, we don't believe that, like that, in cutting out or eliminating food groups, right? Everything is permissible, right? But we have to start asking ourselves, is this beneficial? And we have to start making choices, not being dictated by punishing our bodies or depriving our bodies on the latest fad diet, right? We have to start choosing that, you know what? Yes, it's permissible for me to go eat a bag of chips, but is it beneficial? Probably not. And so when we start to change our thinking, we start to change our habits. And it all kind of like, it's a roadmap and it kind of goes in that progression, but they all work together at the same time because you don't lose the weight that fast, right? It's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And so as you begin to change your weight, you begin then to change your thoughts, your habits begin to follow suit, and then your life is changing the entire way through. And so we have to start looking at what we do consistently.
Consistency is key with our habits that are beneficial to weight loss. And so if we want to lose weight this holiday season, we need to change our habits now.
Yeah.
We don't wait till the day before the holiday. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we're doing this now. You can lose weight during the holidays if you change your habits now and then be consistent throughout the holidays.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean that you can't ever have your favorite holiday thing like we already talked about, right? But what it means is that you have to start asking yourself, this is permissible, but is it beneficial, right? And maybe, you're going to have 1 or 2 cookies or 1 double stuffed potato or fudge or whatever, but it's not going to be beneficial for you to sit down and binge the entire box of cookies.
No.
And so the more that we can get those processes, the changing our weight, the changing our thoughts, the changing our habits started now, then the stronger those habits will be by the time we're facing those cookies or whatever it is. And you know what? We can start making better choices for the sake of our health.
And it's all about our health, right? We want to be able to do the things that we want to do so that we can travel the world if that's what we want to do, if we want to play with our grandkids, if we want to be the best mom, if we want to serve the way God is asking us to serve, we want to be the best we can be. So it's time to just check our habits and, start slowly, but change them. You can start today. That's something you can start today.
Exactly. And Stephanie said she's mostly feeling positive, but she's got raindrops falling on her head. Yeah, I think the weather just turned for all of us on the West Coast, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Up here too.
So on Change Your Habits, how might you be feeling right now?
Maybe a little overwhelmed, because changing the things that we do consistently takes work. It's not an easy thing to do.
And maybe you don't know where to start. Like, what habit do I start with?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know what habits are good or bad.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you don't even know what your really strongest habits are.
Yeah, maybe you've never thought about habits before.
Yeah. And whether they're helping you or harming you.
And so maybe you need a friend to help you out. And maybe you need a community of support to help you out in this journey. Maybe you need some accountability.
Exactly, because accountability is really, truly key. So as all of these first 3 steps are happening, the 4th step that we get to is change your life.
Woo!
Which is ultimately the reason why we're here, wanting to shed the pounds and like get healthy, right? Because we want to change our life. We want to, like, if you think back to when you were 18 or 19 or even 20, you probably had this idea in your mind of how amazing your life was going to be. You were going to be a mom with this many kids and have this gorgeous house, and it was going to be wonderful, and you were going to just be glowing all the time.
And you were going to change the world.
Yeah, exactly. And then life happens. And that's not how your life turned out. And I think all of us could say that picture of how we thought life would be, it's not how we thought it would be.
The little house with the white picket fence and the kids in the yard swinging
and the perfect
and playing by themselves.
relationship and the right, like that's just not how life turns out. We have these grand ideas, but that's not how life turns out. But that doesn't mean that we can't live the life that we truly desire. Because you know, our verse for this section is Jeremiah 29:11 that talks about how I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future, right? And it also reminds me of the verse, I think it's in Psalms, that talks about like, he will grant you the desires of your heart. Like it's not seek him and he will grant you the desires of your heart, but essentially that's what it's saying, right? Like delight yourself in the Lord. That's what it says.
And he will give you the desires of your heart. And he wants to give us the desires of our heart. So we can go back to our dreams and we can start dreaming today. We can dream about how God wants to use us today.
And then we got to start putting action to it. Otherwise, the dream is just a dream. There's this other quote that we love that I'll probably say it wrong, but it's like, you have to go from dreamer to buyer of the dream, which means that you have to buy into it. You have to do the work to purchase the dream, to actually make it happen. Otherwise, it's just going to be air in the sky.
That's right.
Right? If we want that dream to become the reality, and the dream could be, like you said, serving the Lord. The dream could be singing on the worship team at your church. The dream could be a million different things, but unless we buy the dream and put the work to it, unless we take action, it won't happen, right? And taking action could mean that you have to just go talk to the music pastor at your church, but maybe you don't even have enough confidence to go do that right now. And so we have to start doing the work to change our life. And
so what does change your life mean? Here's what we have for that. Well, it means that it is possible, like Casey's just talking about, it is possible to live the life you want because God wants to give us the desires of our heart. In fact, God tells us to delight ourselves in the Lord. That's our verse, to delight ourselves in the Lord. So it is possible. And if you believe it's possible that you can change your weight, change your thinking, change your habits, change your life, then type the word possible in the chat right now. We want to see possibles flood the chat because we know it is possible. And it is possible for you to lose weight over the holidays rather than gain it. You can do it. You can change your life.
Exactly.
When you do the work, like you said, you buy the dream, well, you can have that healthy life, that healthy lifestyle that is putting one step in front of the other every single day.
Exactly. And so that's what changing your life means. And you know, really, this is about healthy living from a holistic perspective of our mind, body, and our soul, right? And in order to be healthy, we have to have it all working together. And why does it matter? Well, it matters because when you have your health and when you live on purpose, with purpose, you can more easily show up with confidence to use the gifts that God has given you. And I think for most of us here, that's why we're in this, right? We believe that God has called us here to go out and preach the gospel.
Yeah, I love the possibles. Thank you so much for all those possibles. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Thanks, Gail, Yvonne, Joan, Kathy, Jenny, Marilyn, Ruth, and Karen, and so many more.
And Judy and Margie, yeah. And, you know, so ultimately, we want this so that we can grow closer to God and serve him more effectively. And I think that's really the goal of all of it.
It really truly is, because we're all put on this earth for a reason. And we know that. As believers, we know that we're called for a purpose. How do we live out our purpose? Well, we need to have confidence from God to live out our purpose. And that confidence, like I've said earlier, that's not some vain thinking about ourselves that we're better than everyone else. No, it's actually the opposite. It means that we know we're strong when we're weak. Mm-hmm. We are weak and we have the strength from God so that we can carry out the purpose and use our gifts and talents to serve him and to serve others. When we're weak, we are strong with Christ. And we know that. We all say it. But are we living it?
And her name isn't Ruth, it's Ruthie.
Oh.
That's cool. Different than yours.
That is. I'm a Ruth, and sometimes I'm Ruthie, but not with a Y, it's with an I-E.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so change your life. How might you be feeling here? Well, you might be feeling right now, like for the first time, it is actually possible.
Because it is.
Exactly. And you know what? We're just here to tell you that all this stuff that we've been sharing, this is not us preaching at you.
This is us trying to live it out just like you are.
Exactly. And this is us saying that this is the process that we have walked through, that we are still walking through every day, because it's a lifelong journey. And this is what has worked for us. And this is what is working for all of the ladies that we are currently working with.
It's not a one and done. It's a one step at a time every day.
Exactly. And so you can do this. We can do this. And, you know, we feel 100 times better when we are living out this pathway, when we are focused on a healthy weight, focused on healthy thoughts, focused on healthy habits, right? We feel better. We change our life one decision at a time.
Because every decision matters. Now, you might think, oh, you two, you've got it made in the shade. You've got this down pat. We're here to tell you, like Casey said this morning, or Casey just said, she said yesterday she had a bad hair day and she didn't want to go and show up for what she needed to do. We are just like you. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Can you do the journey alone? Well, it's very hard to do the journey alone. And that's why we have an offer for you today, because we have a community of women who do this journey together. It is so much more fun, for one, to do it with a group of women who are like-minded. But more than that, we encourage one another, because if we're not encouraged, we just go back into that victim mentality. We very easily give up on the healthy habits. We need each other to spur each other on, to encourage and inspire, motivate each other to keep going. We need your motivation and you need our motivation. But it's so much better when we don't do the journey alone.
Exactly. And so, you know, we just want to share that we have a special offer today all about how to lose weight over the holiday season. And this is an offer that we've never actually presented before, because we know, and the longer that we do this and the more women that we work with, the better equipped we are to help women. And we've helped a lot of women so far.
Yeah, thousands of women.
And they've done the hard work of making the changes. Lots of them are here today. But where I was going with that is that we know that a lot of the reason why women just stop or they don't start making the changes is because they get overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. And that really is why we have our 10-day weigh down plan, because it gives you a framework to walk through to start with this whole roadmap. And this plan comes with a full course, it comes with a full plan, it comes with all the tracker sheets and stuff that you could need, which are important, but the important part about it is it gives you a framework and a plan so that you can walk through this pathway. Okay?
Yeah, because you got to change your weight, change your thinking, change your habits, change your life.
Exactly.
And you can do it. It is possible.
It is totally possible.
And so we give you so many instructional videos in this online course that you have lifetime access to when you buy the 10-day weigh down plan, and you can start living the weigh down lifestyle today.
It's not just another diet, okay? It's a plan. Is it going to mean some changes? Yeah, it is. But it's not just another diet. It's about learning how to eat, to view food as fuel for your body. You choose what you eat. We don't eliminate food groups. There's a huge variety of recipes that you can choose from. And it's about getting back to the basics of eating real food. And it's really tasty food. And all of the people that are here that are currently working with us can attest to the fact that they like the food. It's delicious. They're easy recipes. They're not difficult.
They're very easy recipes. And I'm just going to show you how it's going to come. You're going to be able to download this book. It is the Weigh Down Lifestyle Plan. Not only this, you're going to get an online course with all the instructional videos to go with it. But in this, you are going to get all the recipes. And there are 10 breakfast recipes, 10 lunch recipes, 10 dinner recipes. And they're foods that you will know, like chicken recipes, beef recipes, salmon recipes. It all depends on your budget. So if you have questions, we are here to answer your questions. But before that, we just want to say, you know, if you're ready to jump in right now, and maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed or you're feeling excited and you know you want to lose weight over the holidays rather than gain it, then today is the day that you jump in, because we have to start to change those habits before the holidays.
Exactly. And
we also have some bonuses.
That's what I was just going to say. We know that the success rates for women who buy our plan are huge. The success rates are amazing. Okay, every woman who has ever done our plan has lost weight. But we know that the women who are successful with changing their weight, changing their thoughts, changing their habits, and changing their life, they're the ones who come into community and do it together, who have support, who have encouragement, who have accountability. They are the ones who go through the roadmap, right? Because if you just buy the plan and think of it like another diet, it is just going to be another diet.
That's right, because it's a plan. But we want to help you make this into your lifestyle so that you're never dieting ever again. We teach you how to portion control. We teach you what foods are fuel for your body rather than just empty calories. We don't actually get you to count calories, carbs, or points or anything, because we've done it all for you. So you don't have to do that anymore. And you're still going to shed the pounds.
Exactly. And so it's not a diet. It's a healthy lifestyle. It's a new way to change your weight, change your thinking, change your habits, change your life. But you have to view it from the perspective of, I am changing my life.
And I get to change my life.
Exactly.
You don't have to. You get to.
This isn't a victim mentality. This is like, I get to choose to honor God with this body, and here's the roadmap that I'm going to follow to do it, to start while you're learning, right?
Now, we haven't even said our journey.
No.
So before you leave,
but we also haven't told them the bonuses.
No, that's right. Okay, but just so you know, our plan works. Casey has lost 85 pounds on this plan.
No, I've lost way more.
Well,
than that.
I know, but that was the first. That was the first time. Then she had a baby, a second baby, and she couldn't shed the weight, and now she's lost over 65 pounds.
No, not quite. I think I'm at 60 now this time.
60? Okay.
Yeah, I have five to 7-ish left to go till I'm done.
Well, that's a woohoo, right? What's 85 plus 60? That's 145 pounds she lost living the way down lifestyle after she fired her diet. Because she came to me one day and she was so discouraged. She couldn't lose the weight after her first child. So many people are like that. So many of women today haven't shed the baby weight. Some people, it just falls off, and then you compare yourself to others and you go, why can't I be like her? It just fell off of her. Well, it doesn't happen to everyone like that.
And it did not happen to me like
that.
And
it didn't happen to me like that either. But we're just here to tell you that it is possible, and you can lose weight over the holidays. We have people who we're helping right now, and I'm going to name her. Her name is Karen. She lost weight over our
Canadian
holiday.
Thanksgiving. Woo! Karen,
wow.
We are so proud of you.
So can you lose weight over the holidays? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And we're excited.
But she had support, encouragement, and accountability while walking through this roadmap. And so that's one of our amazing bonuses that we've never ever offered before, is that if you join us now, we are going to give you 2 incredible bonuses. First, we're going to give you a free month in our membership community.
What? A free month?
Which means that you get to do this plan in community with us. We do a live challenge with you in our membership community. So we're there to support you. We're there to answer your questions. We're there to keep you encouraged. We're there to keep you motivated. When you have a bad day, we're there to pick you back up. And so are all the other women, lots of them who are here. They're there to do that too, because this journey is challenging. We're not here to tell you that this is easy and it's going to just fall off by magic. That's not how this journey goes, and we do not want to ever pretend like we're making that kind of false promise, because that's not what this is.
No, exactly. So we're here to speak the truth, and we're here to claim scripture over you. We're here to pray with you. And so that's bonus number 1, getting a 1 month free, a live challenge with Casey and I, where we're going to coach you every day in that membership community, but you get that month for free. So you get to see what community and doing this alongside of other Christian women actually feels like. It's a fun journey. We just have to be consistent, but it's going to be one step at a time. Bonus number 2, which we haven't said, is that we're going to do an orientation call with you so that you can just right now take a deep breath and eliminate the overwhelm, because there's not going to be any overwhelm. We're going to walk you step by step, making sure that you get into your online course. You know where the instructional videos are. You know what's involved. You know how to print off your document. So, wow, these 2 bonuses are just going to make your life that much more exciting so that you can lose and shed the weight during the holidays rather than gain it.
Exactly. And we know that if you sign up, and it's only $97, okay? We haven't even said that yet. So $97 gets you the full plan, the whole online course, all the recipes, the free month in our membership, the orientation call with us. There's tracker sheets. Like it's so much. It is almost overwhelming, which is why we're going to do a call with you so that you know where to start, you know how to do it. And you know what? We spend $97 to go out for dinner with 2 people these days. And so we have literally kept this price as low as we possibly can so that we can help as many women as possible.
That's right. In fact, you know, we've been talking, we have a coach as well. And so we want to be generous. And so we thought, what can we do to help these women get rid of that overwhelmed feeling? And we thought, well, what we can do is walk them through a 10-day challenge together in community so that they know that they're not alone.
Exactly.
And that orientation call is priceless because it's just going to give you a place to meet us and to also
ask questions.
Yeah, we're going to answer all your questions in that orientation class.
Exactly. So if there's any questions right now, go ahead and put it in the chat. Francine said she lost sound. So can somebody else just tell us that they can still hear us? Hopefully they can.
Yeah.
But anyways.
She get back to, okay.
Joan says, and when you ask a question, they get back to you immediately.
Yes, we try our best to answer your questions immediately. And in community, we have members who have been with us for a couple of years now. So many of them have reached their target weight loss goal. So many of them are still doing the journey with us because sometimes it's a long journey. Like Casey didn't lose 85 pounds overnight. It took her 15 months to lose 85 pounds the first time, and it's taken about the same this time to lose 65 pounds. So it's not an overnight, but it's a lifestyle where you're continually going forward and being consistent, and it works because the Bible says we reap what we sow. When we treat our body like a temple, we do reap that. And I just read that passage this morning, and it was so encouraging to me. We do reap what we sow. It's a scripture that we can claim this promise. So,
exactly.
What else do we need to let them know?
Well, you can jump in now, and then you will get right away. What happens is that you will get access to you'll get an email that will tell you how to create your login. Okay, and then we are going to figure out when to do the orientation call, and we will let you know that by email, and we will let you into our community right away, so that you have access to ask us all the questions that you need to ask us. And you know, we really, ultimately, we just want to say our mission and our vision for the Way Down lifestyle and for healthy Christian living is like God has given us this mission. Okay. And so we're here to serve you, right? We're not here to sell you our plan and then run away and never talk to you again. That's the opposite of what our goal is. Our goal is to support women. In fact, I don't think we've ever shared this, and I'll probably say it all wrong because I don't have it written in front of me, but our vision for what we do for the Way Down lifestyle is to be North America's leading Christian-based healthy lifestyle organization, teaching women to live a balanced life on purpose.
Because when we feel good about ourselves and we know that God is with us in the journey, then we are better able to carry out our purpose, because He has called you for a purpose and He has called us for a purpose. Mm-hmm. And we believe our purpose is to help women, lose the weight, change their weight,
change
their
thoughts.
thinking, change their thoughts, change their habits, and change their life, all to the glory of God.
And so that's our heart, that's our vision. And so, you know, if you jump in and join us, our heart is to serve and support you. Our heart is not to sell something and then run the other way.
Okay, so Sandy Rogers is saying, do you eat specific foods for 10 days or just whole foods, portion control? We have a whole plan where we have recipes, and you choose the recipes that you want to eat, and we give you the portion sizes so that you don't have to count calories, carbs, or points or anything. So our plan is all laid out very simply. So you get to just choose what recipes you want to make, and in your, like, so that it fits in within your budget.
Exactly. So here's the recipe book right here. Like, we have ours printed off. So I'll just go through and tell you a few of our favorite recipes. And so why don't you, while I find a few of them, just talk about why we do 10 days.
Yeah, so why we do 10 days? Because 10 days is short enough to actually, you can believe that you can do it. It's a 10-day plan so that after 10 days, it takes you through a weekend, because, you know, weekdays are different than the weekends, but it's a plan that walks you step by step so that after 10 days, you really get yourself a first win. And after a first win, you believe in yourself, because not only are you going to lose weight, the scale will show a loss, but also you have so many non-scale victories within 10 days. And non-scale victories are ones that, you know, you don't really think about when you're just thinking about the scale. Non-scale victories are ones where you're feeling so much better. Maybe you regularly take Tums, and we've had women that say, I haven't taken Tums for 10 days.
Yeah, and they haven't even realized that they stopped because they all of a sudden feel so good.
Or maybe you're having bloating issues, and after 10 days, your bloating feelingness and your sluggish feelingness have completely disappeared. Your food cravings, your cravings, actually, we have had women say, they've just disappeared. Now, if you start going back to your old habits, those cravings are going to come back.
Yep.
But if you follow the plan, those cravings disappear.
Exactly.
You feel lighter, you feel better, your skin even feels different. We've had so many non-scale victories. People just say they feel lighter. They're able to do, you know, more because they have much more energy. That's a great non-scale victory.
Yeah, there's so many. So just to go back to the question about the types of foods from Sandy. So one of our favorite breakfast recipes is the breakfast oatmeal cake. And so again, like Ruth said, the plan is set up so that you just have access to all these recipes and you choose what you're gonna make. So like, there's a breakfast wrap. Well, if you don't like a breakfast wrap, then you'll never make the breakfast wrap, and that's totally a-okay. If you do, great. And if your budget doesn't allow you to eat salmon for dinner, well, then you just don't make the salmon recipe, then you stick with the other recipes. You know,
or if you want cod instead of salmon, then you have cod
exactly.
versus salmon.
So it's things like breakfast oatmeal cake. Like, we've made this as budget friendly as possible so that there are, you know, some of the more expensive things, because we don't eliminate food groups, right? And so some people love to eat salmon, some people don't like to eat salmon. That's just such a good, easy example. But, you know, we eat oatmeal. Oatmeal is very inexpensive. We eat things like one of our most favorite lunch recipes that people are like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna try that, is lentil soup. Okay, lentils are very inexpensive.
And they're very healthy. And people think, oh, that doesn't sound very good. And when they try it, they go, I love this soup. This is my favorite soup recipe. And it's one of our favorites.
Yeah, exactly. So there's things like lentil soup. There's
shaken chicken. Like, everyone loves the shaken chicken recipe. It's like shake and bake.
Yeah.
Only it doesn't have the bad ingredients in it.
Beef and potato stew.
That's another favorite.
Corn and black bean quinoa salad.
And the dressing to that is amazing.
Yeah. Broccoli, spinach, and mozzarella frittata. Here's the lentil soup. So they're just very basic foods. Like, there might be a few things that you don't have in your house, but if you can't afford to go buy them, then you just don't use them, right? Like chia seeds is one that often women are like, oh, I don't have that. Well, then just leave the chia seeds out of the recipe. I mean, if you want to go buy them, great. But
or we, you know, we have some smoothie recipes, and we have protein powder. Now, if you don't like protein powder, you don't have to go and buy protein powder. We tell you some substitutions that you can have for that. But all of the things are easily substituted. Some people have allergies and they're not allowed, they're not allowed because they can't have or they'll break out certain foods or certain fruits. But we don't eliminate food groups. We don't eliminate carbs, protein, or fats because those three are the macronutrients, and we believe that they're in the Bible for a reason.
Yeah, your body needs them.
Yeah, when Jesus fed the thousands of people, he gave them fish and manna, which is carbs, protein, and fat. Okay, so we don't eliminate those groups. We portion control though, because even the Bible talks about self-control. So we have to, we're working through so many issues and we can't keep going about everything.
That's right.
Otherwise you're going to get too overwhelmed.
Well, and we'll be here till 8 o'clock tonight. So Stephanie, it is $97, which includes the plan. It includes a free month in our membership right now, and it includes an orientation call with us.
And Stephanie is someone who is doing this with us, and she's done amazing.
Yeah, Stephanie, in fact, can you tell us how much weight you've lost?
Yeah.
Currently, since you've joined us. And let's see. So I hope, Sandy, did that answer your question? Let us know if you have any follow-up questions after we've answered that.
Okay, so
Marilyn said, I remember my first 10-day challenge 16 months ago. I was nervous to start, but wow, I felt so good. I didn't even care if I lost weight, just felt so good.
Thank you, Marilyn, for that, because that is incredible. And we know you lost weight, but you felt so good.
Yeah.
And so many women, they don't even know how bad they feel until they change their habits. And then they realize, wow, I feel so good and so energized, because it's really true. What we put into our body affects how we feel. What we put into our mind affects how we are and feel. It's all about our mind, body, and soul. Everything goes together.
Exactly. And Marilyn says, I've lost some weight every 10-day challenge except 2. Total 50 pounds. Never thought that was possible. Now I'm still in the group because I love the community. Thank you, Marilyn. What a testimonial for us. And it is possible. That's the thing,
50
right?
pounds.
It
Wow.
is possible. And Sandy, woo! We're excited.
And we had somebody else join. I forget her name.
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Was it Roxanne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So if you're wanting to join, you should see, if you're on Facebook, there should be a pinned comment that has the link to the 10-day challenge.
But we can we post it here?
I don't know. You should be able to. You can go ahead and click on that, and then right away it will take you to a page where you can sign up, and you're going to get a free month with us and a free orientation call as bonuses for right now, because we want you to succeed this holiday season. And Sandy, what happens after the first month? You'll have the opportunity, if you choose to continue with us in our membership community.
It's $27 a month, which is the lowest we can keep it for all the things that we provide within that membership. And you're going to see over the month what's all involved in the membership.
But when you sign up, you will have to choose to stay in the membership. Your card won't be auto charged again. So just to clarify that.
So this right now is a one-time payment of $97, and it's US because we use a US platform.
Exactly. So, but you will have the opportunity to continue, because we know that the women who get engaged in the community, they want to stay because it's life-changing.
That's right. That's right.
So, we just, what else were we going to tell them about? Sorry, I just moved it so I can't see that comment now. There we are. Yvonne, I'm ready to get back at it. I slipped so far back, need to form those new habits again. And you can do it, Yvonne.
Yeah, we know you can do it. So
exactly. And so if you're on YouTube, the link should be pinned there at the top as well, 10daywaydown.com. We just are so excited to welcome some new women into our community to change their life. And it doesn't matter that the holidays are coming, right? This is a lifestyle that we need to live 365 days a year. Now, does that mean that you'll never eat a dessert at Christmas time again? No. Does that mean that you're never going to go out for a meal again and enjoy a meal out with friends? No, because that's not real life, right?
No.
And this is about learning how to live a healthy lifestyle for your life so that you can live at a healthy weight for your body.
And that we love going out. So we do go out. You can do this plan, this lifestyle, going out. This fits into your lifestyle. We just have to learn, and we're going to show you how to do these things. And we're working on them too. Learning to live with self-control with the healthy habits, being consistent continually.
Exactly. And Stephanie has lost 60 pounds overall, and 38 of those have been since she joined us. So
wow, Stephanie. Woo!
And Stephanie, no, you're already in the membership. So
you're going to be doing this alongside everyone else.
Yeah. So Stephanie, don't, because you're already in the membership community. So you're good. And Sandy, I love Ruth's encouragement segments. Yeah, isn't she a wonderful? I'm pretty fortunate to have a mom like that, right?
We're a mother-daughter team, in case you didn't know, because we didn't even say that.
Yeah, we didn't even say that.
And so we love doing this together. I've had my journey, and you'll hear lots about it as we go forward. We've both had our own journeys, and have they been easy? No. We've had our ups and downs just like you.
In fact, we have our ups and downs every day, just like you. I was grouchy as all get out this morning, okay? I was discouraged this morning. I had a difficult morning with my kids. I was discouraged. I am no different than any of you. Ruth is no different than any of you. We just have chosen that every day we walk this framework.
And we get to choose. We don't have to. We get to. Mm-hmm. And we have to constantly work on our mindset. And so we are doing this journey with you. And we know that God has called us to help women. And so we're living out our purpose. And, sometimes I'm going to tell you, it's hard. It's hard to say, I'm struggling with this, because as we help you, like, we're in the limelight, so to speak. We feel like sometimes it's overwhelming for us to have to constantly be on guard, constantly be living what we preach. It's easier not to be. It's easier for us if we aren't doing this, because then if we want to go eat a whole bag of chips, we can, right? But we have our own struggles. But we know that God's called us to do this, and so we are doing it, whether it's hard or not. Because we can't stay in that victim mentality about, oh, it's too hard, it's too difficult. No, God has called us to help women, so we're doing it.
Exactly. Well said. And, I just had shared with Ruth not very long ago, and we were going to actually share this in our community, but I'll share it here, is that for the last year and a little bit, I have been kind of leading a group of women through weight loss, needing to lose weight myself after being pregnant again, after gaining pregnancy weight. And that has been a huge, huge weight on my shoulders. That has been a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's
right?
A lot of pressure.
And there have been so many days where I have felt like that's a heavy weight to carry, right? And the sermon we listened to at church this last week talked about how as teachers and as leaders, we will be judged more strictly, right?
That's right.
And so
that's a big weight on our shoulders.
That's right. But we believe so strongly in this mission of helping women, Christian women, reclaim their health so that we can live out the purpose that God has for us, that, you know what? Many of those days I have said to myself, like yesterday, having a bad hair day, I didn't feel like showing up. That doesn't matter if I felt like it or not, because God has put this calling on our hearts. And so whether it's hard or not, we have to just get up and keep going, because God is calling us to this. And so if you feel like God is calling you to this, then it's time. It's time to stop with the excuses. It's time to stop waiting for the right time. It's time to stop feeling like the victim. It's time, if God is calling you to this, it's time to jump in and make it happen.
Yeah, because we can have excuses for our whole life. If you know that you have a purpose and you're not doing it, it's time. If you know that you need to shed some pounds, it's time. We can continually excuse ourselves and make excuses, but that's not getting us anywhere. It's like when we do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. If God is calling you, then click the link and join, because you will not be disappointed.
Exactly.
Our community of women is an amazing community of women who are all on this journey together. We are accountable together. We love each other. We pray for one another. We encourage one another. We inspire one another, and we motivate one another. And can we do it? Yes, we can. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. With God in the journey, all things are possible.
And Stephanie says she feels like you're her mom too.
Oh, I love it, Stephanie. I can be everyone's mom. That's okay.
Marilyn says another massive benefit has been my walk with Jesus is even stronger. I thank God for this group. Thank you, Marilyn. That's amazing. So Marilyn, if you hadn't guessed, is part of our community. Stephanie is part of our community. Francine's here. She lost her weight on this plan. She's on maintenance now. She said everyone should join. Thank you, Francine. And so nice to see you here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We've missed you, Francine.
Yeah. Jesus, take the wheel. That's right, Stephanie. Yes. Exactly.
Absolutely. And we love driving. So Jesus, take our wheel.
Exactly. Stephanie, my last name is Broning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see any other questions. But
so we've been here for an hour and a half. Thank you for sticking with us. We know that, like we've said, if you have any inkling to join us, just jump in. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, for $97, and you're going to get a whole month's worth of support from us, and an orientation call, and the whole plan. And you are going to go from, where's this first one? It's all mixed up, but we're going to walk you through our framework. Change your weight, change your thoughts, change your habits, change your life. And so I think that's really all that we had to share today. But if you are here watching the replay on either YouTube or Facebook, leave some comments. Let us know if you have questions, ask them.
The link is there for you. And we want to hurry up and get you orientated into this program. So yeah, we just are excited for those of you who already joined, and we look forward to seeing you on the inside very, very soon.
Exactly. So until next time, treat your body like a temple, not a trash can.
Bye for now.